Hello and welcome everybody. My name's Rose Smith from AbsoluteSoulSecrets.com and I'm here to do the Trump report, which I do on the last day of every month. So I just wanted to get this in really quickly because in a few hours there's the presidential debate going on between Biden and Trump. And I hadn't been thinking about this, but unconsciously it must have been playing on my mind because I dreamt about it last night. Here's a sort of quick summary of the dream. I flew into this eastern bloc country called Georgia, and particularly it was Tbilisi, the capital, that I flew into. And there was a woman there, an elderly peasant lady, who picked me up from the airport. She took me to the debate. There was a debate going on between Georgian politicians. And it was like in a great big ballroom situation, and they were all very quiet and subdued, listening to the politicians on stage. They were eating a meal, but I didn't get a meal when I got there. So, not that the food would have been great anyway, but I was hungry, and so I had to sit there with no meal, watching everybody eat and listening to these politicians drone on. Okay, so that was the dream. When I woke up, I knew it was about the debate today, even though I hadn't been thinking about it. So I didn't get anything out of the listening to the debate. And so I don't know if that's got to do with what's going on today, but I thought I'd just let you know because it was the day I was planning to do the Trump report. The thing about the US is, you know, it's the largest GDP in the world. It's got the largest economy and it drives the economy of the world. And so for the last 4 years, countries have been watching the US intently. It's been under the microscope as to what goes on because, you know, there's a saying in Australia, if the US gets a cold, we get the flu. So here in Australia. So it's almost like whatever goes on there affects us. Now it's less so because our economy is tied to China now, and it has been since probably the 1980s or sometime like that. And so, you know, it's not so much, but still to some extent. So whatever goes on there does affect us and all of the other countries. So let's go to the board now, and I'm going to do a tarot reading as I always do for President Trump for the month, okay, for the month of October. I have got a lot of people asking me about the election. I have not received any information. I've asked hundreds of times. I have not received any information yet as to who's going to win the election. I do know what's come out in previous Trump reports is there is a delay, and that's been for some months. That's been coming probably 3 or 4 months. There is a delay in the results. And look, a delay is not a problem. We've had delays in knowing who our Prime Minister is going to be. We never know on the day. It can be a week or even 2, you know, when things have to be counted, or if there's even a legal challenge, you know. So I imagine you won't know until January, in fact, because there will be a legal challenge. That's come out months ago, and now Trump himself has come out and said that if he doesn't win, he's going to challenge it. You will not know until January. December, if you're lucky, that's a possibility. Okay, so we're having a look at the energies around Donald Trump for the month of October 2020. Wow, whole pile of cards just fell out. So I'm going to take the one on top. Closing my eyes now. What do I see around Donald Trump? Okay, so I've got a pink rose in front of me. Roses are always about love. They're about self-love, and especially this particular shade of soft pink that I'm seeing. So the energies around him are love, self-love, and that's actually a good thing. We all need that. So he has an ability to think well of himself regardless of what happens. And so maybe it's a bit, you know, some people would say that's too extreme. He's too extreme with it. So that's something you have to judge. But having the ability to self-love is actually a good thing. Okay, but the card that comes out is the Page of Pentacles. Now, if you've been following my Trump reports for the last 4 months or so, you'll know that Pentacles often come out. Page of Pentacles is good news around money. Okay, so I know just 2 days ago, I think it was, the New York Times released the report about him not paying taxes in 11 out of the last 18 years, and in 2016 and 2017 he only paid $750 in tax. So I don't know what this good news is, because this card is sort of opposite to the flack he's getting in the media at the moment about not paying tax, but somehow he's making money this month. Okay, so let's go to the second card and see what we can see. Let's go to the second card and see what we can see. I'm going with that one there, sticking out to me. Closing my eyes now. What do I see around Donald Trump for October 2020? Okay, he's got an umbrella up. There is a storm raging. I can see an umbrella is not the right equipment to have during a really raging, it's like a cyclone, hurricane. What I'm seeing is out in bad weather. So there's a cyclone or a hurricane raging all around him, and his umbrella doesn't stand up. So he's going to get drenched in emotion. He is not happy. It's actually dangerous, the amount of change around him with this cyclonic winds. He's changing his mind a lot about different things, because wind is always about the mind, okay? And there's a lot of water, rain. The rain is so bad that it's horizontal, okay? So that is hurricane status. And so there's a lot of emotion here. So meltdown is the correct word to use in this situation in October. Yet we have the Queen of Pentacles. He's still making money. Whichever way it goes, he's making money. He's got a lot of deals going on underneath. He's got to get these deals across the line before the election, because once, you know, that comes along, that could change everything for him. So he feels like he's under the pump to get these deals settled before the election. Queen of Pentacles is a feminine energy. This could be Melania, you know. A feminine energy that is very astute with money, and she has talents and abilities and crafts that she concerns herself with. And this could even be the daughter Ivanka as well. I feel like it's Melania. I think Melania is doing some, and this would be kept very quiet. You wouldn't hear this in the media now. You may hear it later. You know, when everything is settled, you may hear that she had business deals going. She's making money too, by herself. Okay, she's sitting on a gold throne here. She's grounded in practical reality, dressed in red, taking action, a lot of gold. She's setting herself up for life. I want to also say she's looking after her son Baron and setting him up for life as well. Okay, like it's her and Baron. Her and Baron, not to do with Donald Trump, separate to Donald Trump. Card number 3. Card number 3, I reckon there's a reason for that. There's a divorce coming. Oh, that's my opinion. That's not psychic. But the psychic part I'm getting is she's setting herself and her son up independently of Donald Trump. My opinion from my mind is because there's a divorce coming. Okay, just to clarify there. Okay, card number 3. Card number 3. That one come out. Okay, some friends. There's some friends or some people that are very close to Donald Trump here, but there's a disagreement. It's not a complete falling out, but two of them are ganging up on the other one. Okay. I suspect, now this is my mind, not spirit, I suspect it's two of his friends that are ganging up against Donald Trump rather than him and one other ganging up against another. So this could be people like Pompeo or Barr, or, you know, somebody very close to him that he works with on a regular basis. That guy, DeJoy, the post office guy, just flitted across my mind. It's not him, but I think we could hear something more about him soon. But he's not in this little clique. There's somebody here in the middle wasting money or wasting something that the other two will not be happy about. They're in the mouth of the fish, so there's a lot of subconscious stuff going on between these three. Donald Trump is one of these three. Okay, so there's going to be a very public spat with somebody close to Donald Trump in October. Okay, going with that one there, card number 4, closing my eyes now. What do I see? Okay, putting a foot forward. Okay, it's barefoot, which is strange. Vulnerability, I think, goes with being barefoot. Being vulnerable, putting a foot forward, so it's a small step. It's actually just half the step forward that he takes is just half the step of the size of his foot. So he only moves forward a few inches, maybe 5 inches or something like that. So he's making progress, but it's slow and it's risky. And there's vulnerability around it. The card is the King of Cups. This is somebody in touch with their emotions. You could see Donald Trump more so than usual in October wearing his heart on his sleeve. His meltdowns that he's been having back here that I talked about earlier could actually play out in public because King of Cups is somebody who is in touch with all of their emotions. But they're also a generous benefactor. So he could be helping some people out. You may see more pardons, for example, where he's pardoning people that probably normally under other circumstances would not be pardoned. This is all about self-expression. The blue, the gold, is a high vibration in the self-expression of emotions. There's gold, the sun in here is about insight, awareness and happiness, and the subconscious forces down here. What he's doing is he's channeling his subconscious out into the public arena in October. He always does that, so that's not new, but I guess what is new is the volume, the frequency. We're going to see more of him being emotional in October. Okay, let's have a look for the last few days of October leading up into the election, which is in November. And it'll be very interesting to see what the Trump report gets next month, just before the election. Okay, going with that card there. Closing my eyes now. What do I see? I see the colour light blue, the pale blue. So it's not sky blue, pale blue. And that means weakness. So the last few days, something happens, so he's at a weak point or a low ebb. He needs to watch his health, and I can feel in my chest and throat like a virus. It could be flu. I don't think it's just laryngitis. His voice might go. I don't think it's just that because it's in the lungs. So he's probably going around to lots of people, lots of places. And I don't know if you've ever travelled a lot, but quite often when you go to a new place, you're very susceptible to just normal colds and viruses that are there in the area. So he really needs to pay attention to his health. It's very awkward because I feel like he's going around to lots and lots of places, exposing himself to new viruses and germs and things like that. I know he's a germaphobe and he does take some precautions. He needs to take some sort of tonic or something to boost his immune system. Definitely, I can feel it in my lungs and throat right now. Okay, so the card that comes up is the Hermit. So he feels isolated, he feels alone. And of course he's not alone, he's got heaps of people around him protecting him at every juncture. But yeah, I think he could have some ill health in the end of the month, towards the end of the month. And, I feel like he needs to rest because all of this, just travelling, doesn't matter if you're on Air Force One or what you're doing, you've got that constant drone in the background, on an aircraft, hours and hours of that every day. Just that is enough to depress your immune system. And plus with the air going around being recycled, that recycled air, it's not good. So the hermit is about pulling yourself away from other people, sitting in self-reflection and really meditating. It's also about learning and learning about yourself. So, when you do come out into the world, you can express that. The wolf is a teacher, and so it is about learning about himself. He's going to discover some things about himself in this time. Okay, so I'm just going to close my eyes now. What have we got? Pentacles, Pentacles, Cups, Cups, Hermit. Okay. Excuse me, that's that thing I'm getting about his health. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to close my eyes now and see what I can see generally. First point I want to say is America, a second world country. I chose that thumbnail and did that thumbnail because of the dream I had last night. Georgia, the eastern country, is a second world country, and I feel that America very quickly is devolving in some parts into second world country status. Okay, so you might think of California, for example. It's devolving, it's going backwards in many ways, and reaching second world country status. This goes back to, when was it? About the year 2004 or 2005. I was in Washington, D.C. I was having a business meeting with somebody. We went to his fancy choice of restaurant in Washington, D.C. He goes there all the time, he tells me. It's really good. And so I thought, that's okay, I'll have a salad. And I ate the salad, which I enjoyed, and I put the fork down on the plate, and I heard in spirit, you shouldn't eat in third world countries. And I was like, what does that mean? I'm like, you're telling me now when I finish the meal? Anyway, later that night, I got food poisoning out of that. And later that night, I was sick. And I was thinking about you shouldn't eat in third world countries. And so I thought that meant spiritually. Now, over all of these years, I now see it's actually happening. And, I've had this on multiple occasions that in many respects the US is going backwards. Just look at the... even though it has the highest GDP, it's like a two-track economy. So you have these really wealthy people and some middle-class people doing well, and then you have these really poor people that don't seem to be advancing. It has very high poverty rate, the US. It's in the 40s, depending on how you measure it. It's in the 40%, 40 to 49% range, depending on the measurements. That is absolutely shocking to be so high. How can the richest country in the world have so many desperately poor people? And so this is one of the reasons why COVID is spreading like crazy. So anyway, that's why I chose the thumbnail and did the thumbnail the way that I did, and especially in light of the dream I had last night where I visit a second world country for a political debate. Now, they're showing me a nail, now that I've said all that to explain, they're showing me a nail and hitting the nail on the head. There's a hammer going bang, 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 bang. That means that's exactly right what I've just told you, hitting the nail on the head. But for Donald Trump, what are the energies to sum up for him for October 2020? Okay, he's pulling his sword out of the scabbard. He's wearing a sword, he's pulling it out like this, and it's like warfare fighting, hand-to-hand fighting. So he's going to have a hard month, but you'd expect that with the election so close. You'd expect it's not going to be an easy month, but lots of fighting and warfare and that sort of thing. thing. The debate coming up in just a few hours' time, 4 hours' time. What's the energy around that? I'm still seeing the sword. The sword is standing up right in front of me, and the focus is on the top of the sword. So I've been thinking I will do another video about the symbolism of the cross. I'm seeing the cross. It means sacrifice. Okay, sacrifice will be made concerning the debate. I suspect in his heart of hearts he doesn't want to do it, but that's just my mind. But I do know that there is a sacrifice to be made for the debate, because I can see it. His sword is standing on its edge. He hasn't actually got it raised and fighting here, what I'm seeing, although no doubt, you know, he'll be assertive, maybe even aggressive. I just see it standing like that, and so it's not actually doing anything, which is a bit odd. I don't know how to interpret the sword just standing there, but the hilt of the sword is where my focus is, and that is the sacrifice that Donald Trump will make today. Okay, anything else? They're showing me a beautiful teal, which is blue and green, stone. I don't know what kind of stone this is, a precious gem of some description, teal. It's just stunningly beautiful, in fact. So that this teal is sort of like blue-green, the energies of the heart coming up and being expressed through the throat. I get a lot of throat stuff again. He could have a sore throat today, in fact. Sort of like here, yeah, it's like these lymph nodes in the throat are swollen. Yeah, so he could have already come in contact with some viruses somewhere, okay? Just being in the same room, you know, that air conditioning, recycling all of the germs around, it's not good. All of the viruses around in the air. We do know, of course, that COVID is spread in the air now for sure, despite what the government authorities have said, that it is airborne. Okay, anything else for Donald Trump today? What do I see? I see a wheel. Oh, okay. I see, you know those game shows on TV, and they have the wheel and they spin the wheel, and it's a bit of a sort of a gamble. That's what I'm seeing, the wheel, the lucky prize wheel, and then you get a, you know, there's some sort of wooden spoon in there somewhere, something that's not very good, and then we see the wheel going around and round, and where does it land? On this particular wheel, there's lots of black areas that are filled out, so, you know, he could fall foul on any number of things. Whichever way it goes, it actually comes out on a very bland white, lands on a very bland white thing. It's whatever you want it to be. Okay, so that's all I see about that. Anything else? And now I'm in a wind tunnel. I'm getting like a wind tunnel effect. So lots and lots of thoughts, lots of changing of minds, lots of spinning and re-spinning something. You say something, then later on you change your mind, you say something else, and you try to spin what you said the day before. Okay, in a wind tunnel, that can't be good for your health either, and especially the throat. Okay, maybe the throat is like a wind tunnel. Okay, all of the energy coming and going through the throat. Okay, so that's it. That's all I see. If you found this helpful, please consider subscribing to my channel and hit that notification bell right now if you're new, and if you're a subscriber already. Thanks so much for your support. Please share, like, and leave a comment. I'm only too happy to answer your comments. We will all wait with bated breath to see what happens today at the presidential debate. And please do give some consideration to the question, is the US a second world country? Okay, thanks again, and bye for now. Thanks so much for watching. Please visit my website, absolutesoulsecrets.com, for all things spiritual. Have a lovely day.